Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 between Yellow Submarine and ProDotA Gaming here in the Wellplay Invitational. It is a low bracket match, it is an elimination series. ProDotA though, they're up 1-0. Annie, welcome back.
Hey, thanks. I am very excited to see this. We see ProDotA immediately ban out the Void. First ban, they are having absolutely none of this. They saw Yellow Submarine run it last game, and although Yellow Submarine wasn't successful in winning the match, the Void was incredibly strong and the Chronos were on point. But Yellow Submarine now get the chance to grab up the Wisp and the OD, so they are really going in full meta here. Do Yellow Submarine look to combo this with a Sven, with a Tiny, with a Chaos Knight? What are they looking for here?
Well, the beautiful thing is you can come out with so many heroes that once a wizard has been picked, it's kind of already alright. It's gonna be in ProDotA to now try and deal with this here, which it's only unfortunate that they got Nature's Prophet in a sense, because he's kind of a prime target if he's split pushing to just be relocated on. But Lion already a pretty good support pickup to try and counteract that with a AoE stun at the ready for whenever they come in. Another option would be the Disruptor here. I do expect that to be banned out by Yellow Submarine next. But yeah, you can pick up the Sven, you can pick up the Tiny, you can pick up the CK, Gyro, even seen it mix up with PAs. There's Bristle back and pool if you want to go for that. So even the OD can really benefit from that extra mobility. Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen IO combo with an OD. It's unusual. I'd rather see them go for a big beefy core. They could even go for something kind of quirky like a bristleback and just be absolutely unkillable. But ProDotA, again, like you mentioned, could respond with the Disruptor. I like the Lion pick here because you can hex up the big guy target, go with the Earth Spike, and just nuke down the IO. Once that's a max level Finger of Death, it should be able to pop the IO completely.
Yep. It's also another thing that is super useful, as you said. But yeah, a couple more bands here. ProDotA also take out the Beastmaster. Nothing wrong with that. Even a little bit more global potential, even if you remember these old school Beastmaster builds with the Hawk into the Boots of Travel, just being able to TP anywhere on the back of that. But that's the Invoker now. Actually, I think was it banned or was it completely ignored on the last draft? I can't recall.
I believe it was just kind of not touched.
It's odd. It's very odd indeed. But
Yeah,
yeah,
very odd.
this game
Well,
not
we
so
saw the
much.
OT picked up first for ProDotA, and Invoker doesn't do fantastically against an OD anyway, so he probably wasn't really on the mind of Yellow Submarine. We do see the Disruptor picked up by Yellow Submarine, so kind of a counter pick, making sure ProDotA don't get their hands on the Disruptor. Do you like that? Do you think it's going to be able to synergize? Are the supports too squishy on Yes now?
Yeah, that's a danger. I mean, it's a block pick for sure. Question. Uh, I guess it's not bad, right? I mean, it's always a hero that you can make work if you have the momentum, right? If you can make people run away from you. With the OD, with a Wisp, that can be the case. Then you pretty much are gonna get a free pickup every single time with a glimpse. But what I find much more interesting here is this Luna pickup from ProDotA.
Yeah, I really like this Luna pick. On the side of ProDotA, Garter loves playing as Luna. It can be absolutely disgusting, but Yellow Submarine, gonna counter that with a Tiny. I think Tiny's gonna be able to come online just a little bit sooner, but if you relocate the Tiny into an Eclipse, Io himself is gonna have a bad time, and Tiny might get locked down by the mini stun from the Lucent Beam.
Question is it gonna be enough to keep Yellow Submarine from rolling over you, right? The Luna is one of these carries that is so damn squishy early on in the game, and uh, even late until she gets like 4, 5, 6 started. She really needs a lot of help to stay alive and not just straight up die to the tiny burst. But with the line already, now with the Earthshaker picked up, I think ProDotA are setting themselves up to do exactly that. So it's a bit of an unusual draft, but I think it might just work out if they can keep the Luna safe throughout the team fights.
Yeah, it looks like ProDotA looking to have kind of a peak around 30, 40 minutes to pick up the Nature's Prophet to constantly keep the pressure going. And we saw Sexy Bamba was so good at applying the split push along with Roger. So just making sure that there's always going to be push going in favor of ProDotA. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about ProDota's supports. I like the Lion, but the Earthshaker seems a bit ambitious. I don't really know what use they're going to get out of that.
Um, it's going to be a bit of the extra team control, like the long range is able, trying to separate some heroes. It's maybe not the most common, as I said again. Might actually even... No, surely. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a support Earthshaker. Or actually, it could still be offlane Earthshaker with a 4-position Nature's Prophet. Want to go a bit more greedy, yeah, but yeah, it looks like that's actually the case with Sexy Bamboo picking that up. The Zeus for mid lane actually liked it as well. I mean, even more magical burst. So this IO is not gonna have a fun time in terms of surviving this lane whatsoever. Or this game in
We
general.
are going to see the half incarnation of the ultimate global strat. Usually, when the Zeus and the Nature's Prophet are picked up together, you can also see a Bloodseeker picked up. But
Usually? Really? Are you gonna go that far?
I have seen it 4 times. I really do like the Wrath of Nature combined with the Thunder God's Wrath, just because, if anyone gets low on the side of Yellow Submarine, just nuke them to hell and back to hell and follow up with a Lion Stun, and good God, they are all going to be dead. Even tanky heroes like the Tiny might not be able to survive that early on.
Well, I wouldn't call it Bloodseeker strat usual in any circumstance, but
It is when you combine it with the Nature's Prophet and the Zeus.
yeah,
I've seen those
it
three
is
run
disgusting.
together a good amount.
I've seen it twice as well. It's absolutely disgusting, but it's far from usual strats.
I mean,
Annie, don't even
like
try to sell that. It's you're never gonna convince anyone.
Great. Everyone should pick Bloodseeker
Oh,
in
God.
100% of their games. Super meta. Let's make it happen.
Oh well. With that, we have seen early smokes. Let's run through introductions really quick. If you guys are just tuning in, then welcome. My name is Dragon Drop. I'm joined by Annie. This is Yellow Submarine. We've got Artis on the Tiny leading the charge, together with Captain Love supporting him on the Wisp, Nutik on the Disruptor. We've got Dale on that Tidehunter. Leaves GG Wellplay Lanaya reprising the role on the OD. And definitely looking for a pickoff, and they might find Garda here. That would be a big one. He's pretty damn fast though. Season coming now. There's no leading stun to really get them going. So, a lot of other heroes would have died here, but 330 movement speed without boots and Luna, definitely helpful in this circumstance.
Alright, speaking of Luna, on the side of ProDotA, we're going to have Garter playing up that safe lane Luna. Here in the mid, it's going to be Undershock on the mid Zeus. Over here towards the top rune, we've got Arzik on the support line, Sexy Bambo on what looks like an offlane Earthshaker, and finally it's going to be Roger on the Nature's Prophet, who... Is he jungling? What's happening here? Is it dual off?
Dual off / jungling Prophet, I want to say.
Oh, good. Cliff jungling Prophet's what we need to represent to the pubs. Down bottom, though, Garter, going for the rune, will get the rune. Has to take a lot of damage here from Dale, who does opt to level the Gush first. Is that enough to slow him down?
Did slow him down. I'm not sure. No, didn't get to tell the slow just yet. They might still get it here. But once again, team movement speed is enough. But Garter didn't bring any cells with him, so he's gonna have to munch all of his tangos once he gets health points back. And right now, he's being left alone from the supports. Yeah, might have to switch a team speak here as Annie got a bit robotic. It's Undershock actually. It's gonna end up dying here at least. That is true actually. We could just keep you in character in that sense.
Good. I'll hop into the server. Just let me know when you're in, and we can switch over.
I'm in already. Just waiting for you.
Oh, of course you are.
Alright. There we go. Testing.
Hey!
There we go.
Alright. Look at that. Production value. Didn't even miss any kills for that. So down bottom, we've got a Lion supporting a Luna. Not the most typical combination, but I like the fact that Arzik can go up pretty aggressively up against Tidehunter that, has a habit of being kind of obnoxious. So Luna gonna be getting some really good farm here. Meanwhile, up top, Earthshaker trying to do what he can up against a Disruptor Tiny, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Is Io gonna be sitting in the mid, protecting up OD? I like this play for now, but can Tiny get enough secure farm?
He should be. Should be able to. I mean, as I said, it's only Shaggy. He can do some things to try and annoy them, try and block out the creep wave and at least get levels, but it's not going to be able to really contest the farm. But he's already level 2. Meanwhile, mid lane, what's going on here? Roger with the TP in as Undershock up very, very low. Gonna have enough damage on Sprout to control up anything. At least keeping Zeus alive here. So this mid lane, definitely working out with the help of the hour, kind of hard to do until Zeus gets a couple of levels. But this bottom lane, it's a bigger issue because Dale, he started off with the Gush, which means no point in Kraken Shell, no point into the Anchor Smash. to try and mitigate the damage coming his way. So that's why Lion, who's not exactly known for his just zone up potential on the back of right clicks, was able to do that here, forcing Dale back, try and farm up that camp with the Iron Talons. So this is exactly the kind of start that you want to have if you're playing a Luna on your team.
Absolutely. We do have an avalanche up top. Sexy Bambo running. We'll get tossed back into the thick of it. Going through, there's going to be a Thunderstrike onto a creep, but maybe not enough as Bambo gets out with just a scratch of health. Io is rotating in. Is this going to be an Io right-click first blood? Going over the spirits, it looks like it will go the way of Captain Love, so that is starting to start off right.
Well, it's going to be a quick set of boots here for the Io. Don't know where he puts them on. He's also going to get another stack off by the looks of it. No, that one didn't quite work out somehow. Fortunate, but hey, yeah. Well, it's just not going to work here without any help coming in from Nature's Prophet. Roger, I think he was thinking about it, then said, nah, can't really do anything anyways, and he probably would be right. Yeah, that'd be a good start for your Submarine as well, inside the other lanes here. Being said, Shaker, he's still level 4, right? He's doing the side pulls. Bambo, it's not that it's putting him too far behind, it's just getting Io a bit of an extra head start. It's something that you can deal with on the grand scheme of things, considering the impact that he's already having anyway inside this middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, down bottom, we do have Garter now pushing up. The zone of, like, maximum potential farming is pushed in, so it looks like Radiant want to go for some early tower aggression. Tidehunter is going to be rotating in after he takes out that neutral camp. He's going the Iron Talon build. So classic, but his levels are not ideal. He's only level 2.5 at 4 minutes in the game.
Can't
Now
really
looks
do
like
anything
there's
to defend
ganks,
this. Yeah,
Nature's
rotation
Prophet.
in. Looking for the bottle blocks, not quite getting into here. There's the Hex. Roger, well, we should have just right-clicked with everything, but now there's some help from Captain Love. That should force them out. Don't know that they can actually get any sort of counter, not with more TPs under control. It's all good, it's all good. But Roger can just stick around here if he wants to. Benefiting from that extra damage. So well from the Luna. Looks like Aziki has to take over in the top lane.
Sexy Bambo getting very low, will end up salving himself up. Tiny has been doing pretty well in terms of farm. His net worth isn't at the top of the charts just yet, but he's got pretty much all game to do that. So when it comes down to a late game Tiny versus a late game Luna, what are you most afraid of?
Well, the strength of Luna is the spread damage, whereas Tiny... Obviously you have the cleave with that Agnum Scepter, so in that sense it is like spread / AoE damage. Not quite in the same range that Luna is, but... I almost want to say the Tiny's gotta have the bigger end of the stick here, quite literally here. He picks up that Agnum Scepter. Because if Luna's BKB ends, he's just gonna get blown up. And the good thing for ProDotA is that there's no lockdown goes through BKB. So Gato should just be able to pop BKB and try and kite out the Tiny then. Just a hard question to answer if you've not seen how the game goes, because so much is reliant on that. You can theorycraft however long you want about what happens in late game with everyone being 6-slotted, but limited practical applications here right now, I think.
You are always stuck in the realistic mind frame. I like to, think about, like, if Tiny has 4 rapiers and 2 hearts, what kind of game is this going to be? You're going to see Sexy Bambo go, and he might get punished here. There is going to be a glimpse on the Disruptor, but it looks like Sexy Bambo wants to take this head on. We'll go through a little bit of hesitation. Might call...
Well,
Undershock just pops the bubble that was the Wisp, and now there's going to be a TP in from Roger, who will get glimpsed back. Looks like Arzeek is going to follow up, does have the Earth Spike and the Hex if he wants to go through. No Stick getting very low. Kinetic Field will zone out the rest of the Radiant for now. Gobbles up the Fairy Fire, and one last hit from the Earthshaker on the back lines with the Fissure will secure the kill.
that was the worst time to have a lag spike, but I guess with Undershock rotates onto Wisp, you can kind of figure that the Wisp is gonna end up dying. No, Bambo should be fine here. No imprisonment coming out from the OD. Good set of kills here. One for the Zeus, one for the Earthshaker, getting him close to this level 6. Already has the Arcane Boots. On the Shock with his Soul Ring, also in a pretty decent spot. Now with all that aggression up top, they're gonna try and use that to put on some more down in the bottom lane with Cat and Love, as well as Notic trying to help out this Titan a little bit. Dale, I see it now, level 5 up against a almost level 7 from Luna.
Down bottom, we've got Tidehunter. He still needs about 3/4 of a level
The
for
thought,
6.
middle
The
lane,
mid.
gonna go on GGO Blade Lanaya with the vision coming out, Roger falling back. A bit of help from Captain Love here, doesn't quite have to relocate up yet, but the healing is more than enough here to keep the OD alive. No counter kill though, and should at least get him back to base here with Io being out of bottle charges.
This is fantastic rotations coming in from the Radiant. The global strat of the Nature's Prophet is totally working out. He's able to go in, get his jungle farm when he needs to. Obviously, his net worth is not super fantastic, but it's enough. And he's just gone in having really high kill participation. Not necessarily in terms of kills and assists, but just being where he needs to be with the body blocks, with the sprouts, and it's really showing.
Yep. The only thing that hasn't worked out is just the enormous defensive capabilities that I just brings to the table. Captain Love has been at the right place at the right time, almost every single time, to help out people in need. Keeping Dale alive, keeping the OD alive in the mid lane. Just absolutely crucial to stabilize these lanes. Because Tiny, on the top lane, he was farming quite well, sitting at 56 last hits right now. He's taking the time to farm up some jungle stacks and giving this up the lane for some extra experience. Same time though, Luna also farming, and now we can turn this into a push here with 2 points up into that Luna Blessing, 1 point up in the Glaze, a bunch of treants to work with, so this tower should end up falling.
Yeah, that is a dead tower for now. I don't think Dire even want to go in and try to get the deny. So Luna, she's doing really well in terms of her net worth. And now actually Tidehunter getting very, very low. Luna not wanting to blast the Eclipse just for that. They go through. Do they have the Thunder Gods or the Wrath of Nature? No, they already used it up. And Dale, oh man, that cat is hunting.
He's just gonna stand there. Oh man, same time. Tiny was going down up top here, and now the Wisps have fallen. Now they even canceled TP. Bambo on the money. It means a triple kill for Undershock.
Good God, Zeus.
What's happening? Got it. What? He was.
I don't understand Dota.
He was just waiting for me to finally move the camera to the other lane until he goes for this dive. I mean, like, I'm 100% sure he did that only to mess with me.
Oh god, Arts is going through, throws a creep onto Sexy Bambo, may end up getting the kill if he can connect with the Avalanche. Meanwhile, Roger does TP out, leaving just Sexy Bambo out. The Avalanche doesn't connect, he's able to TP, the toss does not go through. And, well, it looks like Bambo is alive for now. ProDotA is executing this fantastically.
Well, apart from this tier 3 dive, maybe from Gata.
I mean...
but yeah, everything else...
the best. Roger goes through, nice aggressive warding from him again, scouting out this mid lane. There's gonna be no sick going up to the top, still no level 6 on the Disruptor just yet.
And they're at the point where they really could use its Static Storm to try and turn some of these teamfights around.
Oh, poor buddy.
In trouble, there it is, but eats his way through. With the Quelling Blade, picked it up for that particular thing, and now the Glimpse back. The Eclipse kind of wasted here as a result. Artis get love, not gonna take anything of that, but there's Undershock being stunned up. Artis wants to find a kill, not able to. Meanwhile, in the back, nice little vision to block them off. Roger kind of taking the attention at the very least of the OD. No taking it back, and now they will also find the Titan in the front line. No Ravage, he used to cancel TP and Luna earlier. So, gonna be able to take the team fight overall. Gonna be able to take another tier 1 tower off of that.
This is a very split fight, it seems like.
Oh god, don't do it again! Oh wow, he gets it! On long range, with the vision here from the Zeus ultimate. That's something that Lunas can struggle with long animation on Lucent Beam, but getting the vision like that across the trees, well played there indeed, just going for that.
Yeah, both of these team fights have, or all of these team fights rather, have just been really spread out, and that one we saw, you know, we had fighting going on here. So maybe just trying to narrow it down a little bit would really favor, honestly, both Yellow Submarine and ProDotA. You can get a nice AoE Ravage, you can get a better Sanity's Eclipse, you can get a fantastic lockdown with the Kinetic Field Static Storm. But then on the side of ProDotA, you've got the Eclipse running through, you can go for a nice clutch Echo Slam. We say that as Sexy Bambo almost dies to neutrals. He's good though, does finish off his Blink Dagger there, so we'll see if these fights continue to be really spread out or if they start clustering up just a little bit.
I would agree. I mean, that was not the best way for Yellow Submarine to take a fight. I mean, it's one thing to have. You also need the ultimates available, right? That's the thing. I mean, I can understand trying to go for Roger there on the side, just kind of isolated himself, unable to TP out, unable to break down the trees in here. So it was an easy kill. But while OD went for that together with the Disruptor, I think, in the back, we had IO and Tiny just going in the front line trying to pick up someone else, trying to pick up the Zeus, but it's only really Arthas going for that, so I feel like there was a bit of a lack of communication, lack of decision.
We're about to
lack
see
of focus in that particular team fight, but yeah, no take he's not long for the worlds.
brutality going on. Zeus is going to take some tower shots, but not before he just
relocate comes in.
destroys
Well,
Disruptor.
No. There's a combo, but there's Echo Slam with the blink coming out. They will still lose the Zeus though. But Arthas, there's a defensive imprisonment on top of the Ravage now. Bambo on the run as they do bring down Roger. There's all the ultimates being used, but finally reinforcements are in. Zeke and Garda with that level 1 Eclipse, trying to go for the counter kills here. Will be able to find one onto Dale. And that'll be the end of this particular team fight. 4 for 3 at the end? Yeah, with Disruptor already
Disruptor
respawning.
died, so it's... Yeah. I feel like that just could have been a lot more cleanly executed by ProDotA. We saw there, even as the Tidehunter got out with one hit, Lion and Luna running after one target, switching to the other. That moment of hesitation maybe ended up costing their life. Now is Luna staying for too long?
Zeke, well, there's a lot of intelligence stolen here on the ODs. Need to try and bring it down pretty much immediately. There it is with the Lucent Beam. Lion still ends up dying to the last right click, so maybe an avoidable kill, but they do get 2 more. This very aggressive play there from Yellow Submarine. They didn't anticipate Roger to come back in, but it's something that you always have to worry about.
I mean, just looking at overall XP and net worth, it is heavily in favor of ProDotA. They've found their stride, they're going in, and if you're Yellow Submarine, how do you stop this? Do you just keep your Tiny farming away from the action, or do you have to put him into the fights?
I think you have to put him into the fights, and at this point you... Oh god.
Oh no, sick.
Just not do that. That would be a start. What was he hoping to accomplish there? Honestly, right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, ProDotA is they're putting under pressure as a unit, more or less. They, at the very least, they always have people ready to react. Right? And the last team fight was kind of the staggered approach with Undershock and Roger going in first, and then Bambo coming in at the right time with the Echo Slam to... Didn't prevent the kill on the Zeus, because the Tiny Burst was coming through anyway already, but didn't set up for the counter kills. And then, oh god, speaking of kills, down in bottom lane, there it is, the combo with the Blink Dagger picked up by Tiny, so...
It's something. I mean, Yellow Submarine, they get a very important kill that the Nature's Prophet. He wasn't top of the net worth chart, but just getting him down for the next half a minute really does take off some of the pressure. But ProDotA, they've got no shortage of push coming out. We got Treant still whacking away on the tier 2. Disruptor trying to go in, trying to do something here. There's a Ravage going to be up in 5 seconds for the Tidehunter, but ProDotA are playing this so smart. They know that there's not a whole lot of pressure on them right now. They can get back, they can do whatever they need to have the strongest mid-game possible.
Yep. Now the question is, what does Yellow Submarine get from that kill? Sure, you get a little bit of money, but what else? Absolutely nothing. This tier 1 in the bottom lane is still at full health. This tier 1 in the mid lane, pretty much full health. Same for the top lane. They haven't made any progress towards objectives in 60 minutes, and a matter that is very predicated on this early game team fight into push. So now they might find another one that is onto the line. But yeah, that's another support kill that they probably won't get any extra momentum out of. So I've had a chance to watch some of Veggie's scrims. This was explaining some of these points, some of these finer points of competitive Dota. At the end there. And this is not good for Yellow Submarine, right? They need more.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Tiny doing exactly what he needs to do here gets a pretty important kill onto the Zeus. That's going to be a bunch of net worth swinging his way. He's actually pretty much keeping up with the Luna, but it's eventually going to be Tiny versus the world, because OD is really not picking up the huge items. Looks like he's saving up for a Blink Dagger, and that doesn't add a whole lot to the right-click damage that Yellow Submarine desperately need right now.
farming, getting some of the items. Blink Drag is good in the sense that you can keep on targets and just right click them and stack up more damage, so that's why we see it picked up often than not. But overall, ProDotA, they still have the momentum. Luna now with the BKB can feel much safer up against these relocate gangs. Right? If someone goes on you now, just pop BKB and all of a sudden you don't care about anything. Right? Just pop the Eclipse, level 2 now as well, so much more beams available.
Okay, here we've got ProDotA trying to just put the nail in the coffin.
It is Echo Slam Gnostic, just gets annihilated immediately. Dale and the backlines unable to really go in, so almost got blown up there. Nice little defensive imprisonment, but now D trying to stay a little bit closer to the front lines to shoot them away, but they want to get this kill and they will be able to accomplish it with the nuking power from range. No one able to backstab here, so that's another tier 2 tower going down in favor of ProDotA. And well, in the mid lane, we've got Arthas and Captain Love. They're kind of trying to split push the best they can, but really competition much now. Arthas has to be careful. The Wisp kind of part of the ways. Got it. He sees him now. It's a bit of a nuke down. Not gonna be enough at this stage. I'm taking up half damage on this Luna.
I think Tiny wants to be really, really scary, but he's just not. We saw Luna live through his full onslaught. And, well, now Tiny's rotating in aggressively into the Radiant jungle. There's a little bit of dire vision here on the high ground, but is it enough? Enough to get down the Lion, apparently.
Yep. Keep getting these kills. Nice little static field as well. Relocate actually should be going back to base, shouldn't it? Yep,
oh,
there it is.
Disruptor!
Listen, Nature's Prophet ult was used a little bit early here, not quite off cooldown yet. If they'd waited for that combo, maybe they could have actually gotten a kill, but now Captain Love and Arthas coming right back to the position, so obviously ProDotA is not gonna focus more on that. Hey, look at that, top lane, Roger's back here, pushing it out. He's going for the axe build up now, so looking to put on even more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, Dire finally getting onto the Radiant side of the map may be able to pick themselves off their first tower of the game. In fact, this tower is melting fast. There's going to be a fortify, and the Radiant don't want to let this one go without a fight. Arts, though, blinking in aggressively, smacking down the Lion before he has anything to do with anything, and now it looks like they are going to get the kill on the Wisp. They might get the kill on the OD as the ultimate from the Luna rises through, and, well, Dale getting kind of low here. Does have his Ravage. Not sure why he's still holding on to that one. He's going to get killed. There's going to be an Aesthetic Storm locking Roger in place. Nosek going through. The right clicks are immense, but the Glimpse back might save him for now. Undershock wants to go through, does not have the ultimate for another 30 seconds, goes through with the Lightning Bolt, does not catch up Disruptor, trying to get in range of the Arc Lightning. One is enough. Does he have the other? The Fissure with the little tip of the rock tickles the Disruptor back to the grave, and now Radiant, they're feeling real good about the fight. The Tiny's the only one that lives. He's kind of sitting in the side shop contemplating death, goes into the top lane to try to clear out the tier 3 tower.
Wasn't even Etherland's gaming there from the Earthshaker, it's just the Fissure being naturally that long, but yeah, it's exactly what I was talking about. Yellow Submarine trying to go for a team fight, but they don't find the angle. Even though they get the kill on the Lion, once again, they didn't even need him for that fight. Luna pops BKB, says screw it, runs in. And then Undershock as well, kind of being left alone. That was what made that fight for ProDotA. Being able to stay alive to so much damage. I missed the fight recap, but with the recently completed Veil plus the Ether Lens, I mean, what do you do against that on Yellow Submarine if you don't have BKBs of your own?
You have to lock him down. You have to get Tiny on him in every fight, and the Tiny's doing a great job of keeping Lion down. The last 2 fights, Lion has not got to use his Finger of Death because he's just been dead, and we are going to see a rotation in from the Dire right now, going and clearing out the jungle. Oh,
we'll find each other here. Bamboo can get a pretty good Echo Slam if he wants it. Sad Undershock here, might be in the front line, same for Ezekiel. Nice little stun disarm from Arthas, but the Fissure is there. Undershock still gets a lot of damage out. There's a Finger of Death as they relocate a little bit into the backlines. Comes out to save, I think it even dodged a damage on the Tiny, so definitely saved him there. As Undershock was standing in the Static Storm, ends up falling to that damage over time, but Captain Love also not gonna die quite due to the Fissure coming out. Zeke no blink tag just yet, so he couldn't quite follow up with anything either. And with that, that's a win for Yellow Submarine, taking down the Zeus, and now looking for Roshan, which is what that imprisonment was there from OD.
Nice. Fissure here on the front lines. We don't have an Echo Slam coming out. I'm a little disappointed in Dale. For the last 2 key fights, he's held on to the Ravage, and even though Yellow Submarine were able to take that last fight, it just would have been so much easier, and they could have gotten more out of it with the Ravage. Nice, another fissure coming through, and Earthshaker, he wants to blink, he wants to get the Aegis, and will not.
Instead, there's a blink across from the OD up to the high ground. Sexy Bamboo, with help from Artis here, should be able to bring him down. Maybe not here with the force stuff to the high ground,
Okay.
but just drops the hammer.
Yeah, he does not want that Earthshaker tangling into the likes of OD, so they lose the Earthshaker, but in
That's
terms
fine.
of just overall, yeah, you didn't really need him anyway. He's without an ult, so he's just kind of a walk-in fisher.
This was the first objective that Yellow Submarine has been able to get off any kill that they've made in this entire game. All the tier 1s are still standing. Would you believe it? But well, the question is, what can they do with this Aegis here? I really want to see them try and group up and force these kind of team fights. Try and force ProDotA in a position where they have to commit up against a Ravage, because you mentioned it. If they gotten a good one off, then they would have had an easier time taking team fights. The reason that Dale held on to them was that you just don't want to waste them. Right? If you don't get a good Ravage, like if you waste it on a BKB Luna or something, someone that you really need to lock down with the Eclipse going, then maybe may not get as much as you need out of the fight, and then it's going to be on cooldown for a long time, giving ProDotA much more momentum, much more confidence going into pushes of their own. So it's definitely understandable in my eyes.
I don't know, I disagree. I think, one of the strengths of Tidehunter is just to be able to go in with the Ravage, and it's a long cooldown, yeah, but it's not detrimental, and if it absolutely is going to help you secure a kill, it's better to use it consistently every time it's off cooldown than wait for the perfect moment and just miss so many opportunities. So yeah, I agree that the threat of a Ravage may be as powerful as the Ravage itself, but I think you just gotta start spamming them out and trying for the best, because that's what's going to help Yellow Submarine get back in this, those lucky picks.
The Blink Dagger now is gonna have an easier time going in to find a bit of a better positioning to make that happen, but only if ProDotA gives them the opening. Now they might actually be cut off here if they get Garda. With Artis blinking in, there it is. That would be pretty damn huge, but the Hex comes out. Garda's still alive. Can't pop the BKB if necessary. Instead, just want to try and get out with the control that they have on the shock, providing some covering fire from the low ground. Artis still going in deep here. They got the glimpse of another Z, so he should end up falling as Artis catches up with Garda. Gets that kill too. 2 for 1 as Disruptor was blown up by the line. On the shock though, that's another big kill. Going the way of Yellow Submarine. No mana, no nothing to play with. No defensive utility.
It's happening!
This shouldn't have happened there.
It's the turnaround. Look at the overall drop in net worth after that fight. There was over a 10,000 lead for ProDotA, and now they're going to teeter back down below 6,000, so 4,000 gold disadvantage is made up in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Gonna try and start to pick up some of these towers too, but look at what Roger has been doing. I think he was up there for a little while ago, and with the Agnum Scepter as well, he's just getting creep waves here. They have to go through backdoor, obviously tier 1s, they don't have that region backdoor protection. But still have to try and backdoor it down, and meanwhile they still lose at tier 3. All the other lanes are pushing in hard as well. So you could argue, once again, space created for ProDotA. They're playing the split pushing game to the max right now. With pretty much only the Nature's Prophet, Rogers. Making it work.
Yeah, but Arts can clear lanes like no one else now that he's got that Aghanim Scepter coming out soon. There it is. He's just gonna be ripping through creep waves like it's nothing. So yeah, Yellow Submarine are going to be always on their toes, having to maybe rotate back to clear out a wave of creeps on their racks, but Arts can do it in like 2 or 3 hits, and then can push faster than anyone on ProDotA, and pretty much all of ProDotA combined.
Well, gonna have to push 3 lanes at once. We'll see if ProDotA wants to continue to.
Honestly, I think Yellow Submarine can do it. I think Tiny has been more effective than the Luna in terms of overall teamfight spookiness, and Arts is just going to start steamrolling out of control now that he has the Aghanim Scepter. He's still sitting on the Aegis as well, so now another
Bambo,
tier 1.
Mike in trouble. Data's there. There's some help coming. There's some Ravage early. Now setting up for the kill onto Bambo here from the OD as the relocate who came in onto Roger. That was a really good engagement, especially taking down that Nation's Prophet who was just trying to help. Still some treants on the map to pressure with, but he's not going to be able to put on some himself for the next little while. Guard up top might have to pick up that mantle. Now, Arzik, catch him here. They do not have a glimpse, but now there's a static storm onto Gata. Can pop the BKB if necessary, I believe, but they just leave Undershock die here with Udi's insane BKB. I don't really do anything now. There's the glimpse, but Gata's all alone. He has to get the hell out of there. That was never really going to work. Ends to expire, but nice little stun dodge there. He's just playing Wing around the rose. He gets glimpsed up, and that's a full 5-man wipe. It's just once again the over-aggression from ProDotA getting the better of them, but maybe not the space created. The range tracks end up falling.
A 5 for nothing. Yeah, Yellow Submarine spent a lot of spells to get that done, and they have to spend a little bit of time cleaning up their fallen range racks and making sure the lane doesn't push any further. But good God, Yellow Submarine have hit their stride, and we're seeing just how much more effective a Tiny is compared to a Luna. Yeah, they both have BKBs. Yeah, the Luna's really freaking farm. She's got the butterfly ready to go. She has an ultimate at level 3 doing a lot of damage, but Tiny can just live through it.
Yeah. ProDotA, when it comes to straight up team fights like this, even if they are very spaced out like this one has been, they have to be really careful about how they want to take this. Because as long as Roger's alive, they're gonna be able to get something out of it, and they're gonna be able to protect against pushes in most circumstances. But the moment that he ends up falling without buyback or anything, then Yellow Submarine, they know that this is their opening. The pressure lane hard to take a team fight, take something else off of that. As it stands, back to status quo. Roger's back up alive. Gata's still farming. Looks like they want to set up for a bit of a push here themselves with the full 5-man lineup. Side lane's being pushed out by the Treants, courtesy of that Aghanim Scepter. But in top lane, we've got the OD TPing back already. There's no Ravage for another 20 seconds, so this would be an opening to go for RZ. Caught in the static storm, connect feed combo. Artis though, he's dropping super low. He will end up falling here. Same for the Wisp. No defensive relocate this time around. There's no buyback on the Tiny. Gonna be able to turn this into a tier 3 tower push, and this might be maybe not the final nail on the coffin. Definitely a big one.
Nah, Yellow Submarine got this. I mean, look at the overall goal.
Buyback just ticked in. Maybe they can do it now. There's a Ravage, Sexy Bamboo. Should end up falling first here without getting any extra spells off. Gotta force to pop that BKB. As relocate comes in back, picks up Undershock. Artis with a blink. Looking for more here. There's no Eclipse available either to try and bring us down. The Sprout will miss. Eclipse coming up now though, but no BKB means that not a lot of survivability for Gata. He will be picked off too, and well, Artis buyback ticking in, definitely safe in there.
Down bottom, we are going to have the creeps pushing in, but again, Dale's able to go in with the Anchor Smash, clearing out the Treants relatively quickly, especially with the help from the IO, so like we mentioned, yeah, Nature's Prophet can apply the pressure, but Yellow Submarine have fantastic wave defense.
What's the trade-off though? Artis is gonna get this tier 1 no matter what. No backdoor region. Don't really see this tier 2 falling anytime soon though. Bambo's gonna be... okay, it's just... You're a Yellow Submarine fan goal. I can understand that.
I'm seeing that they're getting a lot more use out of their Tiny than ProDotA are getting out of their Luna, and now that we're into...
There's 8 points of damage on a tier 2, Annie. 8 points of damage on a tier 2.
And Tiny hits like an absolute bus. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we're going to have OD going in just smacking down these Treants. They are one-hit meals for him. Roger has to run back and be on the defensive now, which isn't really where you want Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. They can keep him on his toes, and they're going to be in a good spot. If they can... No, I wonder if they know that he's still sticking around here. He's steeping out now, up to the top lane here, adding some extra pressure on that, and...
Oh, wow.
He bought himself a Shadow Blade, scouting out everything that's going on. They don't want to take a fight here. I'm not sure they do. BKB's come out. Artis Undershock needs to get some extra damage on. But Wisp is still alive. He has got to try to go 1v1 up against Tiny. It's not going to work. But in the backlines, well, Bambo was able to help pick off not just the Disruptor, but also the OD. And now, trying to bring down the Wisp. It's going to be a relocate back. Meanwhile, Dale, if they can interrupt this TP, not quite in range, but Artis, he doesn't have a TP. He can't go back to defend this. It's going to have to be Dale. These melee racks, Roger, with a focus on top of that, only now TPing out. As the glyph defense from that. So, yeah, so are able to hold on.
What happened there? Yeah, that was Yellow Submarine just not being the most coordinated, and they split up. They brought the Tidehunter back, they rotated everyone out. Arts with the IO dead had no way to get back to his base. We see a Demon Edge on the Tiny. Is this going to be my favorite item of the game? Or is he going for the MKB against the Luna's Butterfly?
It's not gonna be a rapier, Annie.
Come
It's
on!
never
It's 30
going to be a
minutes! It's
rapier.
time!
There's a
Oh,
bottom.
man.
I'm like faceballing right now. Honestly.
How do you put up with me, man? I am just a piece of work. We got Tiny going in, looking for the avalanche. We'll get fissured up, glimmer caped by the wisp.
Zeke might be dead. Yeah, he's probably dead. Doesn't have a blink yet, so he can't get himself out of trouble, so it's gonna be yet another easy pickoff. Trying to make the work for it, but at least giving enough space. Once again, top lane, look at this. It's only the OD, it's gonna be enough. It's only Roger posing, even though Dale coming in now. And now, oh, hello. BKB has to come out for Roger to ensure that he can TP out with a nice little relocate. So I like the play from Art getting off here. Not quite working out. Thanks to that.
Like Tiny will get schlepped back to the bottom lane to be able to clear out some creeps here, so like we've seen a bunch of times, ProDotA are great at pushing in the lanes and keeping Yellow Submarine on their toes, but Yellow Submarine haven't really lost any objectives. Spare that range racks up top, and if you're ProDotA right now, how do you go ahead and cinch the news? How do you make sure you go in for that one fantastic fight?
I think Singsi Bamboo had the right idea, just try and go for these pickoffs, scout out with the Shadow Blade, try and make sure to clear some ground, right, to either figure out where everyone is so Roger can do his work. Not Roger, he's... trouble up top here? Might be. If the Sprout still holds a little bit longer, but the hammer as well as the last right click connecting will take him off the field. So that's something that you have to be very careful about if you ProDotA, but it's a similar kind of thing that you have to do yourself. Try and catch Yellow Submarine off guard. Outside of that, just keep slow pushing. Keep the pressure on, make sure to keep Yellow Submarine away from your own towers, because, I mean, you're absolutely right when it comes to the pushing potential from Tiny. If he gets to a tower, no one's not going to stand for too long.
Oh, no, Sick. What are you doing, buddy?
He's freaking dead. Look at this. Didn't even have to use the Thing of Death here. The stun will miss from Lion, despite the Idle Lens here. Just a little bit off the mark. Captain Off joining in now as well. Quite hard to actually go on the Tiny unless they... Oh god, Zeke. Gotta show yourself. There's the Echo Slam onto the Tiny Eclipse, and both of them here. No creeps to soak it up. Tiny with a BKB, which is already so low. Should end up falling soon here. Nice little stun, but look at him just being right clicked down. Now GG will play Lanaya. Same kind of situation. He has to try and move out on the back of that BKB. Captain Off, not sure what he was doing here, but that defensive relocate didn't come through. He didn't connect to anyone in the backlines, and now teleport forward from Roger into the Sprout, keeping OD there. Took the damage before the 7th Prism could come out. The right clicks. Oh, actually, the blink out was then time on the shock, maybe with an extra blink of his own on 4-star. Some extra help brings that one down too, and there's no buybacks on either of these damage scores. With the creep wave here, thanks to all the constant push, ProDotA will be able to take the tier 3, will be able to take the racks, thanks to the Luna just bouncing glaives through everything. It's gonna be that creeps right here, right now.
Oh,
there, he has to get the Ravage, but where's the follow? There's a nice little stack storm on pretty much everyone here. Can't quite get the hell out, but at least Garda should be tanky enough to survive that a little bit longer. He's just going for the objectives. Undershock able to make it out too as Roger tanks the attention here from Yellow Submarine. Even get that extra kill with the help from Lightning.
This is so tense right now. 30 seconds. Can the Dire hold? Because I think if Tiny respawns, they might have this. Tiny can just kind of charge in. He's got power treads. He could buy out Boots of Travels eventually. I think it was a huge mistake for him to buy out his javelins before he died, because now, like you mentioned, no buyback, no potential to buy the
buyback wasn't cooldown from early anyway. The only reason they took that other fight was his buyback taking in. So he was never going to be available in this particular team fight. They need the OD to be that insurance, but him not having buyback either, that was nail in the coffin.
There's a fraction of a percent of teams that are able to come back from mega creeps, but I honestly think that Yellow Submarine might have a lineup that's capable of it. They've got the Tiny Wisp relocate. All they need to do is crack the base, get down one of the tier 2s, get down the tier 3s, and then Tiny can just go destroy the ProDotA base, but that is easier said than done. Now Sexy Bambo going in, looking to unload onto Dale. Does not have enough mana for the Echo Slam, but Dale lives for now. This is a spooky tense game. Roger, oh man.
Well, does the relocate come in to maybe get the counter kill on Roger here? Pops the BKB though, and that's all the effectiveness done, especially with the Fisher coming out from Bamba, giving that covering fire. But Garda actually in the front line. See, pops his own BKB, but already took the damage now. Man boating up. Don't have too much life steal to play with here. Pops the Eclipse to
Oh, this is it.
just some disco lights here, as both of them should end up falling. Dale pretty damn low. Same as Garda. There's the buyback. I think
That's it.
ProDotA know that the
Yep.
one isn't that is GG comes out with the buyback TP in from Roger. Provide that extra bit of damage, but ProDotA, well played. I mean, they kept the pressure on. They never let Yellow Submarine anywhere near their deeper objectives here, the tier 2s. The tier 1s even were standing for so long, but tier 2s weren't even touched really, and well, all it took then was just a couple of good team fights, some good angles. Sending Yellow Submarine packing, trying to retreat one by one, and picking them off on that.
Man, I believed in Yellow Submarine in terms of, the end XP. It was actually pretty heavily in Yellow Submarine's favor by about 10,000. So I think it just came down to, like you mentioned, Radiant doing such a good job insulating their base, making it so that Yellow Submarine can't go for that YOLO push because they just had too many objectives to grind through. So overall, ProDotA are going to take this one 2-0, and that means Yellow Submarine, well, they're packing their bags, right?
They will indeed. So it's gonna be the end of their tournament run, as this was an elimination match. But ProDotA, they're gonna move on inside the lower bracket, and yeah, gonna see them again. Pretty excited for that. But also, you can head on over to wellplay.co for the schedule and all the results that we have so far. And there you'll also find when the next one comes up. That should be tomorrow, 1700, but it's not been confirmed 100% yet, so don't quote me on that one. I will post it on Twitter though, once I know for sure, so you can follow me there at DragonDropDota. Annie, where
All
can I
right.
find you?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, man. You can find me on Twitter at Android, ANNEEDROID. It's also in the top corner of the stream that you're watching right now. If you're more of a Facebook person, you can find me at facebook.com/AnnieCasts. I'd love to hear any feedback on how I can improve as a caster, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, and with all these shameless plugs out of the way, last thing for me to say is thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.